Hello students, welcome to this video as we are studying Milton's poem On His Blindness. On His Blindness is an autobiographical poem. Before we begin the poem, we should know the historical context or background of the poem and the reasons because of that he became blind. Let's begin the historical context or background of the poem. The poem was written in the 1650s after the end of English Civil War. The King Charles I had been deposed and executed. In his place, a democratic government led by Oliver Cromwell governed England. The English Civil War was prompted in part by religious disagreements. Cromwell's government was much more sympathetic to the Puritans than the King's government had been. So, who were Puritans? Puritans were members of a religious reform movement known as Puritanism that arose within the Church of England in the late 16th century. They believed the Church of England was too similar to the Roman Catholics. Second, they argued that church should eliminate ceremonies and practices not rooted out in the Bible. So these people, they believed in the Bible. For a devout Puritan intellectual like Milton, Cromwell's revolution thus represented a magnificent opportunity to create a country that aligned with his religious beliefs. Milton threw himself wholeheartedly into this project. He was active in this project by writing pamphlets and tracts defending the revolution and Cromwell. He eventually became Cromwell's Latin secretary, an important position since Latin was the language of education and learning around Europe. Milton was tasked with defending Cromwell to the most important intellectual figure on the European continent. He was a passionate and powerful writer who made vital contribution to the cause. However, Milton lost his eyesight in the mid 1650s at the height of his political involvement. And this event was taken by his enemies as a punishment from God. He was forced to retire from public life and his daughters were largely tasked with his care. However, his blindness did not stifle his literary production and creativity. In the years after he went blind, Milton produced some of the most important poetry in the English language, including Paradise Lost, Samson Agonistes, and Paradise Regained. His daughter would read aloud to him and transcribes his poem for him. After the restoration of monarchy, the restoration of monarchy means the return of monarch or a king to a throne. The name restoration of monarchy comes from the crowning of Charles II, son of Charles I, who was executed, which marked the restoring of traditional English monarchical form of government following a short period of rule by Oliver Cromwell, known as Republican government or a democratic government. After the restoration of monarchy at the end of 1660, Milton narrowly escaped execution for his political work in support of Cromwell government. Only the intervention of fellow poet and member of parliament Andrew Marvell saved his life and allowed him to complete his great work. So this is all about the historical background of the poem On His Blindness. Thank you very much for watching this video.